Maratha Empire at that time today. So anyway, very nice to be here. But much more than that, my mother always worshipped Kolhapur Lakshmi because this is our family deity. So I'm very happy to be here. Having said that, by giving you my simple association with Kolhapur, I would like to say a few words about what I have tried to do in my life. I have been doing research, actually started doing research nearly 65 years ago, 64 years ago. When I was 17 years old. You can see now I'm 82. The first time I entered a research lab was when I was 17. Then I started publishing, and since then I'm publishing a lot of papers, lots of people. Well, I've been a professor in Cambridge, Oxford, every other possible place. But most important thing is, doing science has been such a great pleasure. In fact, doing something creative in life is the most enjoyable way of living. No money can substitute the pleasure, even today, that a good publication of mine gives me. Even though at this age I go on waiting, I still publish about 20 to 25 research papers a year, even now. About 25 papers, 20 to 25 every year. So those papers are those that have kept me young. I keep on, and I'm not all tired. And what is wonderful is that when you do work with young people, it is even much more enjoyable. A lot of young people, lots of people from all over the world, not only India, all over the world, all over India have worked with me, and I'm very grateful to all of them. And what more than doing science is teaching science. In fact, somebody told me long ago, being a teacher is the greatest profession you can have. My father always said that. My father was a teacher. I was in the education department. Teaching is a wonderful thing. It's the most selfless thing in the world if you're really a good teacher. Of course, you are not such a great teacher. There are lots of them who don't deserve what I said. However, a good teacher is one who is selfless, who gives everything he has to the young people. Science is the same way. If you're really working with young people, you give everything you have to the young people, and some of them become famous, some of them become great scientists. You not just train them, you try to guide them, give them a direction in life, and that has been a wonderful thing for me. I've had a large number of people, several hundred people who have worked with me for the last 57 years. I've been a professor in India. Well, more than anything else, I'm also very proud that all the science I've done, which has given me whatever names, citations, and so on, has been done in India. I've done all my work from India, and that's very, very important. I think the time we learn, there's no point publishing a few papers going to America, which I do, which I still publish, a lot of things of mine in America, Europe. But the work done here, work done from here, getting importance is very important. It's very, very crucial. And that gives recognition to India, that is the one that gives recognition to me from, as an Indian. So many people don't realize that. They think they can go anywhere, go on doing this, go on doing something in America, something running around. That's very common in the younger generation today. They think something good is outside, nothing great is going to happen in India. That's a very false thing. Those who have decided to do something good in India, because they will do good work in India. But the only problem with India is, Indians is generally they are not determined enough. They are not dedicated enough, they are not dogged enough, they don't give up. Whatever happens, I'm going to give up, I'm going to succeed. If that type of determination is there, even in science, you can succeed. Well, I worked in several areas of science, very competitive areas. Particularly, I used to work in the old days in superconductivity. Every day there is a competition all over the world. Who is going to do something important in superconductivity? In the last few years, I'm working in nanomaterial, nanotubes, nanowires. In the last 10, 12 years, there's an important material called graphene. I hope you all know that. It is just a one atom thick sheet of carbon atoms. It's just a 6-member rings, a carbon atom making one atom thick sheet. And nobody had ever made that. And that had an extraordinary progress. So I got into that as soon as it was known. And of course, some of my papers are very highly cited. But most important of all is, I decided not just to do that. That is where, we in India have to think of something different. So I always quote a poem of Robert Frost. I exactly don't remember the words now. He says, I was going in the yellow wood. I saw the road bifurcate into two roads. one road that was highly traveled by, the other road which very few use. I use the road where very few people travel. That has made all the difference. Exactly the case in science with me. This is the reason I am telling you in this university is, a university like this has to make a big name in science. Otherwise, it will be as famous as it is in science. And if it is not famous in science, of course, it will be very good in other subjects. I am not saying it can't be. But it is very, very important. To be noted in the world today as an important university, you have to be very good in science. There is no question. You also have to be good in other things, but science is very crucial. So to do that, you will have to pick the right problem. Right problem and working in the right area, right direction is more important than anything else. In fact, Michael Faraday long ago said that. Doing research is very easy, he said. Picking the problem is difficult. In fact, what exactly am I going to do? In fact, there is a decision in life. In fact, there is even other than science, in life there is the most difficult thing. What is it I am going to do? Each one has a difficulty in deciding what is going to what is it that one has to do. So I face this problem all the time. I've been very lucky. I've always picked the right problem. I guess maybe I'm lucky because I don't know why, but I've always, in fact, about 8 years ago, the graphing became famous. I published some of my papers, I've cited several thousand times. I've done well, even now I'm working on graphing. Except that we said, why graphing? Why carbon? Why not take other materials, inorganic materials, which are layered just like graphite, take 1 atom thick sheets of those. Maybe they have other properties. In fact, what has happened is, in the last 4 or 5 years, the most exciting problems of physics, chemistry, and material science and materials technology are these layered inorganic materials coming not from carbon, not from graphene, but some other materials, like molybdenum sulfide and so on. So every time, therefore, you have to think differently and do something unique because you have picked a problem that is unique. So I think I've been very lucky. In fact, a very interesting thing happened. I used to be director of the Indian Institute of Science. At the age of 60, I quit that. In fact, they were very particular that I continue another term up to the age of 65. I had enough and I just said no, under no condition I will continue anymore as a director. Because if you're an administrator, you can't do much really research of high quality. Because administration interferes with that. Every day some professor will be shouting and some students will be saying something. How can you do quality research? It's very difficult. So I quit at the age of 60, being a director. But I was involved in advising prime ministers and all that. That is advice, that's different. Not a day-to-day administration. So what happened suddenly, in my scientific work at the age of 60, suddenly there was a big increase in my citations. My H index, for example, H index is the index measuring how much work, how much impact your work has had. H index, everything suddenly 60 it increased. What is even more interesting, many people don't realize that because very few in the world who can tell you this. I'm one of the few. At the age of 70, it showed a super exponential increase. To the extent that my H index today has increased to an enormous number. In fact, I have the highest H index in my field in the world. I have H index now 130 something. Very high. In India, for the next person who has that index, nobody is above 100 in India. The highest next would be 50 or 60. I don't mind what others have. The question is, I'm not bragging about what I have. It is not the purpose of what I said. The reason is, even at an old age, as you grow old, you don't become useless. So that is very, very important thing to do. In fact, I have a lot of young people who are already useless. But young people who do nothing. In fact, the young people who are actually acting like old fellows, I am the old man running around like a young man. So that is the thing. Age is nothing to do with youth, it looks like. It's amazing. Age and youth are against each other. Age is certainly nothing to do with creativity. So I want in a university like this to tell this because they have a tendency to get rid of people at the age of 60 or 65 or something. In fact, some time ago, I was asked to give presents to all those who are retiring in the Indian Institute of Science, and this professor said, I'm superannuating at the age of 60. I told this professor, never use the word superannuation. The reason is that the word coined by the British. I don't know whether you know the literal meaning of superannuation is being thrown out for being useless. That's what it means. So you don't want to be superannuated. You can retire. But even that I don't like. I like what Vajpayee said long ago when he was Prime Minister. He said, I'm told you are retiring from Prime Minister. But he said, no, I'm not even tired. How can I be retired? He said. So, joke apart, seriously, what has been a pleasure for me in my life is, independent of age, immaterial of age, go on working on something. In fact, if you have in your life an ambition, an aspiration of doing something important, not just being good in Kolhapur, good in Bangalore, good in India, but good, the very best in the world. That is your target. I think you have to keep on working. And every Indian can reach that level if he is determined to do so. And I feel I should give this message. And this is a very good age. And I therefore hope that this university here and every other university in India will make sure that good, talented people, independent of the age, are able to continue to work. They must find that they don't give them a big salary, but give them facilities to work, give them some opportunity to work. Unfortunately, in India, we don't do that. Everything is mechanically decided who retires when and at what age. It has nothing to do with old age anymore. In fact, there are many people, as I told you, who should be retired at a much younger age. That's I think we should do that. Okay. Anyway, it has been a wonderful life, but as I said, what is it that we have to do in India? I would like to spend a couple of minutes. In India, whatever we do, we are unable to compete with the rest of the world. America was always our competitor, Europe was, Japan was. Today, the bigger competitors are in Asia, other than America and Japan and Europe, China and South Korea. They are some of the biggest performers of science. China publishes almost as many papers today as the United States. They are publishing for every paper from India, they publish about 40, 50 papers. 1 to 20, 1 to 30 is the ratio. The number of scientists in China is the largest in the world. They are now producing the largest number of undergraduates in science and engineering, much larger than any other country, including the United States. They are producing 23,000 PhDs per year. Their target is to produce 30,000 PhDs per year. I don't know what they will do with it. Every sweeper in China will have a PhD very soon. But that is their problem. The problem is, everything they do is in large numbers. That's the thing. That's how China is. When you ask Chinese, why are you doing that? They say, well, we don't know, but we produce large numbers, large quantities, then we will see what it is for. So they are right now producing large numbers of papers. Quality is not very high. Quality of Chinese work is rather average. Some of them, in fact, a lot of plagiarism is there, a lot of copying is there, but they are not doing as well. But eventually they are catching up. They are already much above us in quality also. So nowhere near the United States. Still the highest quality of science is still coming from the US. China is way behind, but they are above us. So what I am worried about is when are we going to do high quality science? High quality in every other subject, not only in science, whether it is poetry, economics, philosophy, science, whatever subject. Indian work is of high quality. When is that going to happen? Of course, you may say that it's true of all aspects of life. We have dirty streets, we have engineering works, any sort we do, things don't work too well. We have water doesn't get stored properly. Look at the water problem we have created. If we knew how to manage water, we wouldn't do in this condition. In fact, I presented to many prime ministers, many good engineers of India who showed how to manage water for India. Nobody has given importance to that. We'll do it sometime. As if there is a problem that can be postponed. Until what has happened this year, I hope this will teach them a lesson, they wake up. That water management is one of the important things. So obvious problems like water management, obvious problems of exciting, important, at the same time, of great interest to common people of India. I think we should be doing that. In science, it's the same thing. We have to do science that affects lives of people, like water management, energy. We should be doing science that will take us to the frontiers where we can compete with the rest of the world. Then lastly, there should be some aspects of science we do in India where India is the leader. Where each country has some unique things. India has certain unique things where we become the number one in that area. What is that area we have to decide? So I think we should do that. I'm now getting old, unfortunately. I hope the future Indian scientists and the future governments of India will seriously worry about that. Because not much time left, you see. There is a problem with all this. In fact, India has, if you ask me, maybe another 10, 15 years to catch up. If it doesn't do that in the next 15 years or 10 years, I think it will be impossible. Because another 15 years, we'll have another 4 crore children coming for education, higher education, additional 4 crore. Where will you? Will we have 10 more Shivaji universities or 100 more medical colleges in each state? That is not a solution. We have to find a way to educate young people. We have to find a way of taking care of young people. We have to find a way of doing good science and good engineering and good technology with these people. I think there is high time we do something about this seriously, worry about it, make a proper plan which takes into account all these factors I mentioned, and I hope India will do something. I thought I would spend a few minutes talking about India because I love India, I worked, done research all my life in India. I've been a professor for 57 years in India, and I thought I should say something. I must close now by saying how grateful I am for what you have done to me, giving this honor. I've had many honors, but coming to Kolhapur to receive an honor is something special, and I'm very grateful. And well, what will you, the other day somebody asked me, and I keep repeating that, as you grow old, people ask me, they ask questions, what will you do for the rest of your life, how will you spend your old age? These are all the questions people ask. In my case, they don't ask that. They ask the question, suppose you were to do it all over again, what will you do? Suppose you were again young, what will you do?